Hi, my name is Ryan Colburn. I'm a member of Ascension Lutheran Church, and today I'm going to have a few minutes with you to talk about Advent. And specifically, I want to talk about music and Advent music and Christmas music and how that shapes our experience throughout the holiday season. For me, I've kind of always had this rule where I don't listen to Christmas music until Thanksgiving, and I pretty much turn it off at New Year's. There's only a certain set of songs that you hear. Pretty much we bust out this set of music around the holiday season, and for some reason, I can only listen to it for about a month, and then it's time for me to put it away. And fun fact, I had a roommate in college who listened to Christmas music all year, and maybe that's what solidified that kind of rule set in my mind. But this year, I thought we needed to bust out the Christmas music just a little bit earlier. We needed to hear that message of hope and what's happening throughout this season a little bit earlier. So we actually broke the rule, and to the kids' joy, that we started listening to Christmas music about a week early. I know, oh my goodness, a week early, started listening to Christmas music. But we really needed that Christmas cheer, that holiday cheer that we get, or at least I and my family, we really get a lot of that through the music that surrounds us. But in the church programming, there's Advent music and there's church music. And Advent songs are really about waiting and longing and wanting that deliverance. And then Christmas, that's the celebration. That's woohoo, Christ has come, tell it on the mountain, joy to the world. Those are Christmas songs. And there's really a separation of the journey to get to the birth and then the celebration that occurs afterwards. So we have songs like Come Thou Long Expected Jesus, right? So come Thou Long Expected Jesus, born to set thy people free. From our fears and sins, release us. Let us find our rest in thee. It's that song that takes us through some of that longing. There's O Come, Emmanuel, another Advent song about setting free and paying the ransom for Israel, which was captive, and getting them away from the mourning that they had and the loneliness and exile that they felt. And that probably many of us feel that loneliness. We feel like we're in exile and we want to be released from that exile, from that loneliness. And that's what that song, O Come, Emmanuel, is about. And I'll throw this one out there for you. I'll Be Home for Christmas. It's kind of an Advent-ish song. It's that longing that I'll be there for Christmas. You can count on me. And if you think it a little differently than, your favorite jazz singer, maybe that's Jesus coming through saying, I'll be there. You can count on me. So Advent songs are different than, the joy and the go tell on the mountain, kind of idea that we have on Christmas Day and following. And so, when we hear them all mixed together, Christmas and Advent songs, those Christmas songs are kind of giving us a spoiler that, hey, we already know what happens on Christmas. But I think that's really where we find our hope. And whether that's you're a child, feeling the angst or the excitement of what are in those presents under the tree, or I think a lot of us adults, there's really a lot of pressure. There's a lot of expectations. There's things that, while we're always just waiting for something, maybe we're waiting for a vaccine, but guess what? There's hope. It's coming. Maybe we're waiting for deliverance of having to be in our homes by ourselves all the time. Well, there's hope. New rules, new life, new things are coming. So this is probably a different Christmas season, but I want you to try to find hope in that Christmas music that surrounds you, that you hear on the radio, you hear people singing, you hear played in stores if you go out. But I like the Advent time and the music we sing and focus on during Advent because it kind of forces us to pause and think through the longing and the waiting and the angst that God's people went through, and they were truly longing for deliverance. They were truly longing to be set free, and the joy that they felt just knowing that it was coming, just knowing what was going to happen, that they would be delivered, that they would be set free. For us, knowing the story is a little different because we know the end. We know that Jesus was born and was found lying in a manger. We know that the shepherds were visited by an angel. We know the end of the movie, and that can bring us hope, and that can bring us joy, and sometimes we lose it. Sometimes the swirl around Christmas and so much to do, or go out and buy and making sure we have the perfect gift and the right dinner or lunch or the big meal or whatever it is we do to make Christmas special, sometimes I find that it's a distractor, and we lose sight and focus on the hope of Christmas and what's in, not the present, but in the manger, what's there for us, waiting to deliver us, to give us the salvation that we long for, and that we are, frankly, we are given. We have that gift. We know what's under the tree. There's no surprise, but play a trick on yourself. Go through that longing process. Go through that reminder of, I have hope in what is to come. I have hope in what Christmas reminds us of, and that is that we are truly set free. Of whatever bounds, whatever burdens we have, we are set free. So I just want to wish you a merry, happy, hopeful Christmas to you and your family and friends, and however you find a way to celebrate it, I just want you to have a merry, merry Christmas, and remember that the hope that we have, the hope that we need to hold on to, is truly in our Christ Jesus. Thanks. Have a great holiday.